If I had a nickel for every single time someone asked me how to increase their testosterone, I'd probably have like 8, $10. But that's still quite a few nickels if you think about it. The amount of times I've had guys come to me saying, I just have no energy anymore. I don't feel young like I used to anymore. I have low libido. I have no motivation. I have no drive. I feel like I'm lacking purpose because I don't have a drive anymore. And I think it's because my testosterone levels are tanked. Or they got blood work done and they saw that their testosterone levels are tanked. The first way to actually naturally increase your testosterone, I think a lot of people don't even realize because it's affecting so many people nowadays, especially, and that's getting to a healthy body weight. Along with a healthier body weight comes a healthier body fat percentage, typically. So in this case, because so many people are obese, so many people are overweight, having all that extra body fat on you, having all that extra adipose tissue on you is not a good thing for your testosterone, because when you have more body fat on you, you are converting your testosterone into estrogen. And especially as a guy, estrogen is not the hormone that you want to be spiking in your life, especially if you're 40 plus years old for a lot of my clients. So what's the number one way that we can start to increase the testosterone but decrease the body weight? And what's a smart way of going about this? Exercise. That's going to bring us to the second point. When you are exercising, there's quite a few things that you want to do here. Exercise helps develop muscle. Resistance training is one of the best ways of exercising to develop that muscle. Some sort of mechanical tension on the muscle, doing some sort of compound movements, squats, bench press, deadlift, any sort of barbell movement is usually great bang for buck, especially if you are trying to get a fast workout in. The goal would be to hit good bang for buck exercises, meaning compound lifts that utilize multiple muscle groups. So you're going in, you maybe do 2 or 3 compound movements. You are focusing on the bigger muscle groups, your legs, your glutes, your back, maybe your chest even. And the more muscle you have on you, the more fat you are going to passively burn. Not that you're burning a crazy amount of calories during the exercise, but you are going to be burning, it's more of like your long-term investment where you're going to be burning a lot more calories as you continue to age. Not to mention you increase your bone mineral density as well. For these exercises, anywhere between 6 to 12 reps usually works really well. Especially for my clients, I notice it's like a perfect balance between getting strong, optimizing strength, continuing to optimize that bone mineral density, but then you're also getting enough reps in to where you're not going super heavy and stressing yourself out to where you might drop the weight, you might hurt yourself, that sort of thing. Use good form, push yourself, and then don't forget to progressive overload. Add weight each time, add better form, better range of motion each time, or add maybe one more rep each time where you can. Now, this next step is going to be a little bit different because it actually is decreasing stress. Something that's a little bit harder to do where I can't just give you a template and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm just not as stressed anymore. Like, hey, just don't stress out as much. It's like, oh, gee, thanks, buddy. Easier said than done, right? So what you want to do with this, you want to cut out toxic behaviors, toxic style of friends, things that are inhibiting your ability to live day to day, things that are keeping you up at night. A lot of times, cortisol gets spiked with stress. Cortisol is the stress hormone. And when you have a bunch of cortisol in your system, you're not losing fat as easy. You're not building muscle as easy. You have a lot of other crap going on. You're not sleeping as well. Spoiler alert, that might be coming up here soon. So when you have super high stress, it starts to impact and spill over into every other part of your life. So by decreasing your cortisol levels, decreasing your stress, this will allow you to get better sleep. This will allow you to build muscle and lean out a lot more efficiently. And this will allow you to lose body fat and body weight a lot easier as well. Your body isn't fighting you as much. Problem is, most people nowadays aren't extra stressed because of real reasons anyways. It's mostly because they're not doing enough stuff. They're not being productive. So when I'm talking about this, I'm more so referring to the people that are stressed out, that are ultra hard workers, my entrepreneurs, my people that are pushing themselves beyond limits every single day. They have a lot of stuff going on. They're busy, productive people. And that stress is a good kind of stress. But when it starts to inhibit the other health areas of your life, that is when it affects you negatively. So I'm not talking to most of the lazy people out there. I'm talking to that percentage of people that are actually hardworking, that are actually doing stuff in their life and have genuine reasons to stress, not because they're just comparing themselves to people on social media all the time. We might as well just segue that right into the next one, and that's sleep. Oh man, sleep is for the weak. Well, I'm not working if I'm sleeping. Really? Your sleep is literally the optimization. It is literally your body's way of optimizing recovery, letting yourself reset, letting your hormones reset. And then I don't just mean sleep, like, oh yeah, I'm going to take a little cat nap and then go on with my day. I'm talking about deep sleep. REM sleep, what's called rapid eye movement sleep, like when you're actually dreaming and you're in a deep state of sleep, not just cruising through a nap. Aim for 7 to 9 hours, cold, dark room. Don't have a TV on. Don't have the AC set at 78 degrees. Some of you monsters out there. And then remember that when you're having a lot of caffeine, you don't necessarily want to be taking in a cup of coffee at 4:30 p.m. How late do you think you should be drinking caffeine before you go to bed? Some people might say like, oh yeah, well, as long as I drink it like an hour before. Some people might say, well, as long as I drink it 4 hours before. It's typically like 7 to 9 hours, sometimes 8 to 10 hours before bed is when you want to finish taking in your caffeine. It has a long half-life. It is going to sit in your system. Even if you don't feel amped up and spiked up, that caffeine is still in your system. It's still running its course. It's trying to fight your sleeping mechanisms. It is now inhibiting your quality of sleep because you had caffeine 5 hours before bed, or you had 3 cups of coffee at 8 o'clock at night. Just give you a quick spike of energy for an hour, and then you start crashing afterward. That doesn't mean that the energy and that caffeine still isn't in your system. These next two are going to play a lot more in tandem with each other, and that is having a healthy nutritional lifestyle. You want to have healthy nutrition overall. What does that mean exactly? A lot of people will do this stuff where it's like, oh, eat these power foods to lose the belly fat, and avoid these foods because that's going to hold fat in your legs. No, that's not how it works at all. I don't believe there's any actual genuine information out there saying these foods affect this. It's not necessarily that foods are technically good or bad. They help with a lot of different things, but the things you mostly want to focus on, especially when it comes to losing body fat and actually leaning out, are calories being the things that affect your weight. Calories in versus calories out. You are trying to expend more than you are putting in, whether that is through muscle passively burning it, or whether that is getting your steps in, or just simply eating less. Culmination of all those typically work best for all my clients. So with that, your calories will determine your body weight. Your macronutrients, which are protein, carbs, and fats, are going to affect your muscle building, your immunity, your short-term energy, your long-term energy, and essentially your hormone function. So you're trying to balance those out to actually affect your body composition and how you feel. So balance the calories to actually lose the body weight, and manage your macronutrients to focus on your body composition, meaning your muscle to fat ratio. And that's going to tie right into this next one, and that is decrease the amount of inhibitors that you have going on in your life. Stress is not the only inhibitor to decreasing your testosterone, but alcohol. Alcohol is probably the biggest inhibitor. It completely shuts down a lot of the functions that you need for muscle protein synthesis in order to actually optimize muscle growth, which, like I said, is helping you lose fat, helping you lose weight over time, and it is essentially a poison to your body. I know a lot of people, a lot of my clients, they love drinking. That's how they socialize oftentimes. I am not saying you can never drink. I am saying you should probably be drinking less than you do right now, especially if you're at an unhealthy body weight or an unhealthy body composition. Every single one of these methods can naturally increase your testosterone. And I haven't even mentioned any sort of supplementation on top of that. There are so many ways to naturally boost your testosterone. The hard part is actually just getting the structure down and being able to plan that out given your hardworking life, given your lifestyle. Maybe you have a family. So if you are trying to learn how to balance that out, boost your testosterone, lose the fat, lean out for the final time, there's a one-on-one coaching application in my description down below. Be sure to fill that out. Let me in on what you're struggling with, what you're excited to do when you do achieve your transformation, and then we can go from there. I'll reach out. We'll see what I can do for you, okay? In the meantime, if you have any questions, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.